Okay, can we hear me? Okay, I guess we're gonna have to do this a weird way, but we're gonna do it. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm trying out a different software that was recommended just to see what it is like, and I'm a struggling. It's not doing what I want it to do, really. I mean, it's doing it, but it's making it very difficult. So, yeah, I guess we'll just kind of have to figure this out. I guess looking at myself is not going to happen, so I'm going to have to do this a bit blind, which is fine. Just check in on my software one more time. Yeah, it's not letting me see my normal software thing here. It's very annoying. Oh well. We'll just do it. We'll just do it as it is. All right, so welcome everybody. I'm so glad to see you here. Hey. We got Chrissy, we got Cindy, we got Perfection Cider. Hello. Brooke, hello. So nice to see everybody. So nice to see all of you. I'm so glad you're here. I have got a big old pot of tea going on over here. Yeah. Top up a little bit. This is caffeine free because we don't need to put any more caffeine into me. This is we're not trying to bounce off the walls here. That is not the goal. So I figured today we could just do a little bit of chatting. We could just do a little bit of hanging out. And if you want, I can continue on with the Alien Worlds page that we had going before the new year. Let me pull that out. And we can have a little look-see here. So we were working on this page. This big old Sky Dragon page. Now I thought I had written down. Apparently not. Probably lost it because that's just exactly who I am, is somebody who loses things. Oh well. The background is done. We did that with Pan Pastel, and I've got some basing started using Inktense on the dragon itself. So this is an option. We can do this guy, or we can do something else. If you would prefer, we do have other things I can either start. I've got lots for February I can get started. We could... Perfection, that is totally okay if it's 3 a.m. I very much understand. You know, that's the problem with streaming, is it's hard to match everybody's schedules. It's almost impossible to match everybody's schedules. It's a matter of just, and I was talking to Amy Ward about this, and it's just a matter of me finding what is comfortable for me, more or less, and hoping that other people can join. If not, well, I mean, we can't please everybody, right? So, wow, beautiful already. Thank you, Cider. This was, yeah, we had really a lot of fun working on this one, and now I just have to figure out what Inktense pencil I was using to work on this dragon, though I think I got most of the area that I wanted to get done started, so I can always just find more pencils to match and figure it out as I go. Now I'm trying to remember, I should write this down while I'm at it, trying to remember if, I think it was going to be the belly was pink because I wanted it to match the sky, so like camouflage kind of thing. So we might do that pink. And then the detailing we could do in blues and greens perhaps. But yeah, I want it to be largely camouflaged, which would make sense biologically and for the planet and everything, you'd think that a big beautiful creature like this would have some defense mechanisms in place. So I'm just surprised it hasn't eaten me yet if it's a carnivore, given how maybe I'm just not worth it. Maybe I'm a bug and it's not really worth it to eat me. So that's good. Okay, so we've got dark violet of some kind in Inktense for the main body. Keep this nearby so that I can reference it. Unless, of course, you guys have objections and you want to color something else. That is totally an option. But I've been kind of wanting to get to working on this one myself for a little while. So I think maybe I'll start there. If anybody is like not into it, wants to switch to something else, that is also cool. So, all right, let me pull out my Inktense swatches here and have them at the ready. I imagine this was dark purple. Dark purple or just straight up violet. But I guess we'll see when we activate it, because then I'll be able to match it to my swatches and we will find out. Amy is 100% right. Yes, Amy is always 100% right. You know, she has a lot of experience in this stuff, and I tend to defer to her without question in most things because she seems to have this rather figured out. I mean, as figured out as one can have it, right? So, all right, let's get a it's a little echoey in here because I closed the door. In case anybody comes home, I don't want, you know, a whole bunch of noise all of a sudden to cut us off. So nobody should be coming home, at least for a couple of hours. But you never know. You know, people's schedules change and things. So why don't we just... Oh, I need to refill this brush. No. Why am I not smart? How's this one doing? This little one's doing better, but it's tiny. Maybe I can just switch the heads on them. Maybe that's what I'll do. Hey Mandy, how's it going? Hope you got some sleep. Yeah, I just switched the heads on these. Perfect. I mean, this one has a little more water. It's still kind of empty, but better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick, as I would say. So we're just going to wing this. I am just going to throw some water down and see what we've done, because it's been so long since I worked on this piece that I don't know what's going to happen. So just a little bit of water into my brush. And let's see what happens when we activate this. I can see I did the gray shading as well. I forgot I did that. Looks nice. Yeah, okay, I'll activate that next too. I'll do the purple first. I think my intention originally was to do the whole thing with the Inktense pencils and then activate, but it's been so long and I obviously lost the sheet where I wrote everything down. So I'm just going to activate for now and see what happens. See if I can, if it, you know, jars any of my memory. So, how is everybody doing? What time is it where you are? Are you going to bed or are you just getting up? Are you working on anything today? hope you're having a great day so far. I am. Yeah, yeah, it's been good. It's been a bit of a stressful week. Um, Kind of trying to get myself set up as the GSR, the representative for my home group. So that's been a little bit stressful because the other person that's sort of been the chair holder, like the steward, I would say, for the group for a while, of course, is used to doing things one way, and so she's trying kind of constantly trying to check in and make sure things are going okay, which is fine. I totally get it, but it can be a bit stressful trying to negotiate my way through the new position. So okay, 3 a.m. for you too, Susie. Yep, yep. Those of you on the other side of the world, that's the unfortunate thing. I wish I could be at a better time for you, but what are you guys doing up at 3 a.m.? Perfection. I'm good but tired. Wasn't smart having an energy 3 hours ago. I've been working on Kerby Rosanes Wondermorphia. Wow, that's yeah, no, definitely having energy drinks at that time of night is not so good. Not so good. Um yeah, Wondermorphia is lovely. I'm glad to have a few pages done in that. Cindy, it's 10. Okay, so you're just an hour behind me. That's all right. I thought I'd start at 11 a.m. because that's a good time for me. I've had time to wake up, set everything up. Um, and then I'd have several hours before anybody's expected home, so it shouldn't interrupt us too much, which is great. Tuesdays, my Mr. Winter, the hubby, is working downtown as opposed to at our local branch. So he's not expected home for lunch. He oftentimes stops in for lunch when he's working at his normal spot because it's not too far from here. But he's got to be downtown at the central hub, so he'll stay there for lunch. It's too far to go just for lunch break. Inktense is beautiful, this nice dark violet color. Once I get this arm finished, or this appendage finished, I'm going to try and compare it to my charts and see if I can figure out which color I used. Silly. Just... Alright, more tea. Perfection. Kerby I still find so intimidating, but after coloring in Melpomene books, last name so long to type at this time. Yep. Kerby doesn't look as scary as it used to be. Yeah, with Melpomene, everybody knows Melpomene, so I often don't say her last name either. Um, and yeah, I mean, Melpomene and Kerby kind of have the same thing going where they're very complicated to look at, but if you get used to them, you start realizing that they're actually not so bad. And they put a lot of the work in for you because they put in all their shading and hatching and stuff. I think this is Deep Violet or Nightshade. It's not dark purple. That's too warm. This is a cool. I'm gonna say Deep Violet. I think she's Deep Violet. Diamond Painting with NMD. Hi there. I love your channel. You're a beautiful colorist. You inspired me to pick up coloring again. I'm disabled with weak muscles. I have to use markers. Which one do you recommend? Oh, okay. That really, really depends. Depends very deeply on what it is you're trying to achieve. If you're using it on, say, Amazon paper and it's one-sided, then I am a big fan of the Ohuhu markers. I love the Ohuhu alcohol markers, but if you're looking on a budget, you can always try using something like the A-Beer brand alcohol markers, which is a budget brand, but still reasonably reliable. They come in, I haven't found them yellowing my pages or anything like that, so you will see me sometimes using have past pages where I've used those when I was on a budget, so that's fine. But the Ohuhu are my favorite. But the Ohuhu are kind of hard to get a hold of right now. I think because they're doing a bunch of rebranding, they're kind of changing their marketing and they're coming out with some new lines, so they have not been easy to get a hold of right now. Copics are the classic if you want the alcohol markers. They're refillable. You can buy them individually, but they are highly, highly expensive. So I do recommend, treading with caution, but I mean, you'll never go wrong with a Copic. They are the most fantastic markers. If you're working on something double-sided and you want to, if you were to work on this Kerby page, you don't want to use alcohol markers because you'll ruin the back page. So I definitely recommend using something water-based. Stedler has some really excellent options for their dual-ended markers. They're kind of a reasonable price, kind of middle of the road, and their markers are water-based, and they have a fine point and a broad point, and you can get them in like a pretty big set, so those are nice. Of course, if you want something that's a little on the higher budget end, you can look at Tombows, which of course you can buy individually, and they have a brush tip and a fine point. But if you're looking for something real budget, you can always use Crayola. Crayola's markers are actually really not that bad. As far as budget brands go, they hold up their end, I think. You can use them like a paint. You can put them on a palette, mix them with water. Or you can just use them as is, as a base coat, or I even sometimes use them as shading over top of other markers. So, lots of options. Ohuhu markers also became even harder since cozy coloring became. Yeah, it's like Ohuhu can't keep up with the demand for their markers. They weren't prepared for this cozy coloring trend to bring in not only colorists, but a lot of other people who are just getting into coloring. I mean, it's when you're not prepared for it, you're used to a certain market, and then all of a sudden another market pops up. That's got to be hard. I mean, I get it. I feel for them on that. Diamond painting. What's the difference between alcohol and water-based? Well, it's exactly as it sounds. Water-based markers, the ink is made with a water base, and the nice thing about it is that it's less likely to bleed through the paper. Whereas alcohol-based markers their ink is based with alcohol, and that soaks through the paper much, much more strongly. The nice thing about alcohol markers is that if you work quickly, you can actually blend them together really easily. They're very agreeable as far as getting some nice blends go. With water-based, you're less likely. You're going to get a bit more streaking. You're going to get a bit more, it's just less easy to blend them and make them look seamless. but they're safer as far as materials go. Alcohol markers are generally used by a lot of comic book artists, graphic novel artists, anime artists. They're very, very good for blending and creating these seamless transitions. Did I press buttons? Oh, goodness. Oh, I see what happened. Sorry, guys. My webcam came undone, like it came out of the socket. So, sorry about that. Let me know when it comes back up if everything's good. And I'm very sorry that I can't zoom in anymore or anything like that. Um, my camera is very, very budget. Like the camera that's on my face that you see, it's very high budget, but the one that's looking down at the coloring, it is a very, very low budget. I originally bought it just to see if streaming was even possible with my system setup, but I haven't been able to afford to buy an upgraded one, so this is as best as it gets. I'm trying to do my best to make sure I'm keeping it in frame and everything and give you at least an idea of what's going on, but unfortunately I can't zoom in and I can't really play with the camera at all. It is what it is. I love the cozy coloring books, the color by number mystery coloring books. Yeah, I like those too. I have a few of them myself. I use those for when I'm really struggling, um, either physically or mentally. If I'm having a day where I just can't, bring myself to do anything that's super creative or that requires a ton of concentration, having those cozy coloring books can be very easy. Same with the color by numbers. When I don't have to think about what color I'm supposed to be using, quote unquote, I can just relax and my hands do the work. I was lucky to replace my Ohuhu markers in December for Christmas right before they went out of stock. Yeah, same here. My dear friend Juliet was so kind to send me a 320 set. So I'll be set for a little while, but hopefully they soon come back into stock. I know they're rebranding because like they're also trying to put their products on shelves. Like they're doing a partnership with Michaels now to be able to purchase their products at Michaels in store. So I know that that's a big rebrand. No, please don't be sorry for asking questions. I'm really happy to answer anything that you've got. That's the whole point of these streams. Is it's so easy for you to just fire off anything that's on your mind, and it's easy for me to answer them right now. I don't have to try and go back and figure out, who asked what and all this. I can just answer it live. The cloth, I'm just dabbing off the end of my brush. So this is a water brush, so it contains water inside of it. And if I squeeze it, a little bit of water comes out the end. And what I'm doing is I'm using that water to push the pigment around. This is an Inktense pencil that I've put down as a base coat. So the pigment, once you wet it, turns into something that's similar to paint. And I can just push the pigment around. But if I get too much pigment on my brush, I have to wipe it off, so that I don't contaminate other parts of the picture. Sometimes there's too much pigment and I don't want it to be quite that dark. So you found a set at Amazon that you just ordered? Well, that's great. I hope they work out well for you. Yeah, you'll see I'm pushing the pigment around, trying to get it to lay down so it's not so scratchy, but sometimes I get a bit too much on the brush, so I wipe it off so I can start fresh with just water. It's like I want to leave a little bit of highlight back here at the top of this horn thing. And push most of the pigment to the front here where the shadow would be. I only got the 216 set because I just missed the 320 set. Oh, that sucks. I had the 216 to start with, and it's still really good. Like, it's got such a huge amount of options for colors. So I wouldn't say you missed out on too much. That's so cool. Those brushes weren't around when I took my break. Oh, yeah. Well, they're very easily findable now. You can get them on Amazon or at your local art store. They're quite popular now, actually. Wipe off. I just want a little bit of the pigment in this highlight area. Just a little bit, not a ton. Same within the back here, just a little bit of the pigment. The set I ordered was only 36. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a bigger set. Are you talking about alcohol markers with that? Perfection Cider. I'm on a no buy at the moment, having use what I have type of year. That's fair. New books from artists I love don't count. Yeah, I get that too. There's a few books that I've pre-ordered, and I pre-ordered them through a local bookstore as opposed to through Amazon. Amazon's pre-orders haven't been particularly reliable, and B, I just wanted to sort of support a brick and mortar store, you know? I'm also trying to slow down on my buying. I got a lot of wonderful gifts this Christmas, and for my birthday and stuff. So I'm doing pretty good as far as materials go. I was able to shrink down my wish list pretty significantly, so I don't have nearly as much. I'm not asking for nearly as much, so that's making me happy. It's really frustrating to look at your wish list and have to scroll and scroll and scroll to get to the end of it. That just feels very greedy and weird. But like, I want to keep this channel interesting. I want to have lots of different things that I can show you guys and play with on camera and experiment and stuff so that you guys can know what's best for you. So let's get ourselves centered here. Try to get in between all these little tendrils. There are 3 books I'm excited for, maybe 4 depending on the flips. Fair enough. You got the alcohol markers? Okay. And you just bought a Hannah Lynn coloring book? And you really want a Joanna Bassford book. Perfect. Yeah, the alcohol markers will work really, really well in your Hannah Lynn coloring book. That's a perfect place to start with alcohol markers. In your Joanna Basford, you're going to want to use water-based because the alcohol markers will bleed through and ruin a page, unless, of course, you're willing to sacrifice the back side of the page. It's not something you were going to color anyway. Then you can use your alcohol markers, but do bear in mind that each of the markers, water-based versus alcohol, do behave a bit differently, so it's going to take some getting used to switching from one to the other. I've definitely got the new Kerby book on pre-order. I'm very excited about it. Did you see Claire's video? I did see it. I have not yet clicked on it. A, because I haven't had time. My queue of videos I have to watch is very large. I had a no brain day yesterday and I didn't get to any of the videos that I had planned to watch. I try to watch all the colorist videos that come up, at least for a little while, just to see what's going on in the community. But Claire's is in there, but I haven't decided if I want to see it yet. I haven't decided um, if I want to spoil it or not, because I've already got it pre-ordered. So Hannah Carlzon, Merry Christmas, Kanoko Agusa's new book, Melpomini's new book, and maybe Kerby. Okay, cool. Yeah, I do want the Merry Christmas book as well. I think that would be fun. But it's not. I don't think I pre-ordered it. I think I'm gonna wait and see what happens. Kanoka Agusa's new book. I don't even think I've seen advertisements for that one. I've heard that they're coming out with another one, but I wasn't completely sure. Melpomini's, yeah, I've heard that that one's coming out, and I've seen pictures of the cover, but I haven't seen anywhere that like I can pre-order it from at the moment. So I haven't. Like it's like my local bookstore doesn't have it available as a pre-order, so I'm not really doing many pre-orders through Amazon. Again, same thing. I'm trying to just, support local and obviously I still have to order things through Amazon, but and I'm not against ordering from Amazon. I just if at all possible, I'm trying to order elsewhere. Thank you for the info. I'm trying, but I don't know if I'll be a great colorist. I love it though. It helps with my pain. That's why I want Joanna Basford, because I love her images. Listen, being a great colorist has nothing to do with what your final product looks like. Being a great colorist is about enjoying the process, about using it for exactly what you said, for therapy purposes, for helping yourself get through the day, whatever that means, for enjoying the break, for meditation, for whatever it is that you're using it for. That is what being a great colorist is about. Every piece of work that people come out with is wonderful and great. And the definition, what is great and what is wonderful, like What's beautiful to one person will be different to another one. Art is subjective, and that's what this is. It's art. So don't worry about what other people are doing. You just be you. Yeah, I would feel the same way if I had it pre-ordered. Yeah, exactly. Like if I've already got it, I'm already going to be buying it. There's no point in doing a flip. If I wasn't sure I was going to be buying it, I would definitely, have a look at the flip. But I'd already decided, so I'm down. I love Hannah Carlson. Yes, Hannah Carlson was an artist I kind of slept on at the beginning. I didn't get any of her books until more recently, just because I think A, they were expensive, and B, I wasn't sure how I felt about it. Everybody revered her so much, and I didn't really fully understand the attraction. Um, but over time, I've grown to love her, and I now have a few of her books, and I'm very, very happy with her work. It's really lovely. Halloween images are your very favorite to color? I mean, absolutely. Halloween images are so much fun because, kind of like with alien pages, you can do anything you want. There's no rules. It's Halloween. You can be or do or say or be whatever you want. So you can make the colors as bright or as mild as you want, and you can change everything up and color it wrong were it to say. I never pre-order. I wait till it's out and see where it's cheaper to buy. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Um, I find with something like a Kirby, it's going to be pretty uniform across the board for a while, especially with one as big as this. If it were, um, if it were one of his compilations, I'd be more like that. I'd be like, like it's going to go on sale somewhere pretty quickly. But being as this is a new release with new images, it's going to be the same price for quite some time, I figure. So I'm just going to order it. I love supporting small shops when I can. Yeah, exactly. If you can, do it. I'm so happy I found you live. I've been wanting to talk to you forever, but I never want to bother you. It's never bothering me. You're not bothering me. Send me a message on Instagram, and I'll get to it as soon as I have the ability to get to it. If I'm too tired or if I'm busy, don't worry about it. I won't answer you until I'm ready, but I will answer you, and I'll be happy to talk to you. I love talking to all you guys. You're my friends. I'm not great either, but it's all about the progress for me. Exactly. I mean, I'm sure you're great. Like, let's just stop there. I'm sure whatever you produce is beautiful. Um, but yeah, it's about the journey. It's about the progress. It's about seeing changes. It's about training yourself to see things differently and produce art differently and use different products and stuff. And that's wonderful. It's the journey. I diamond paint really large images. I have a channel myself, and when I get a little more coloring practice, I'll show it on my channel. That's awesome too. Diamond painting is wonderful. It's basically color by number, but more tactile. You get to actually, touch things instead of just applying flat color. You're using a medium, and that's wonderful. I diamond paint occasionally too. I don't have any massive ones. I just have like the coloring book size, maybe a little bit bigger ones. And I don't usually show those on my channel because coloring is my first love. Diamond painting is again when I don't have the spoons, as you'll say, to do a full coloring spread like this. I'll just do a diamond painting just to have something to keep my hands moving. But I don't have to think too much about it. So, yeah, it's don't worry about a what if you think you're good enough, quote unquote, to be showing your work, and B, don't worry about talking to anybody in the community. Everybody in the community is so open and warm and welcoming, and I'm so happy to make as many friends as I can. I already have like something like 13 buddy colors lined up for February. Like I'm a yes man. I just say sure. And then if it doesn't work out, like if I get busy and I just can't do it, I'll just say to the buddy, "Hey, sorry, it didn't work out. Can we move it till next month?" Um, but I love connecting and being friends with everybody. It's fun. That's part of the fun. The whole point of the coloring community to me is connecting with other people that have similar interests, right? Whew. I used way too much pigment on this page. I'm having to be really careful to not spread it so that the whole dragon turns out like dark, dark purple. I want there to be lots of room for highlight. I've been diamond painting for over 3 years. Wow, good for you. I only recently discovered, I mean, not, I've known about diamond painting, but I only got my first diamond painting kit, I think, I don't know, maybe a year ago at most. I post every single page I complete on Instagram unless it's a buddy and they are not done yet. Yeah, I'm about the same. Some months I'm better about posting on Instagram than others. I sometimes just get lazy. But yeah, I never post a picture if I have a buddy that hasn't completed it yet because I feel like that's kind of rude personally. So I wait until that person is finished. Buddy coloring is something I'd like to do sometime. I'm not really familiar with any other coloring channels. I literally just started coloring again. Well, that's great. You will discover other coloring channels. The more you watch people coloring that pop up, the more will pop up. That's how the algorithm works, right? Like, the more you watch me, the more you'll watch people that I watch. There are so many. I could name hundreds of channels, I'm sure. But the algorithm will point them out to you as time goes on. Oh wow, October this year will be 10 years in this color hobby, but didn't know about the community until 2021. Yeah, I've always been a colorist, realistically. I always have had some kind of coloring book or crayons or whatever laying around my house or apartment. I never thought of it as a full on hobby until more recently, though, yeah. I think about 2020 or 2021 was when I really got into it. Started my channel just over a year ago. Diamond painting is my first love, so if you ever want to know more about it, I'd be happy to help. Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I got the basics down, I think. I understand um, I have a few different tools that I can use, and I have a sealant that I put on afterwards. But yeah, if you ever want to chat about it, I'm happy to. I'm sure there's stuff I don't know. If I send you a DM, would it be too much trouble to send me a couple of channels you recommend? I can do that for sure, no problem. Yeah, send me a DM and I'll send you the link to a few channels that I find helpful for me. You started back when you were in year 11 for stress and anxiety. Yeah, no, it makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. I've got a lot of gray mixed in down here for shading, so it's a bit muddy looking. But I wanted it to be real dark, dingy, because we're in the shadow area of the platform, the rock formation. There. Coloring is my first love trio. I absolutely love it. Me too. Coloring is fantastic to me. I find it so relaxing, and I feel like I can use it to be creative and show myself what I can do. So we've got all the purple activated now. I just want to go over this spot again. I feel like it's a little bit not quite as activated as I want it. Go. Thank you so much. I just want to learn different techniques and learn which markers to use for specific images, things like that. Fair enough. Fair enough. There's nothing wrong with learning new techniques. This page will be gorgeous when done. Thank you. Perfection. Yes, I hope so. This is a grand page, right? Like this is one of those pages that you want it to turn out good because there's something about it that screams, diamond of the book. There's a few pages like that in here where you just want it to be eye-catching and beautiful. And this is just one of them. I was just so excited to get this one going. And then when I wasn't able to go live, I didn't have a chance to work on it. I wanted to save this for doing live because I started it live. So I'm glad that we're back to working on it. So far we have no bleed through. Check this side. Luckily the part where I'm doing the most work is on top of this oil pastel, so that will protect it. Yeah. Gotta love when autocorrect changes your words. No kidding. I understand the autocorrect. No worries. Are the water brushes hard to squeeze? I have very hard, weak muscles. I can only lift a few ounces. You ordered that book, Cindy? Yeah, do it. It's really fun. Once you get over the intimidation factor of it being so, again, grandiose and large, it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend because there's no rules. Being, like they're aliens. You can do any color you want. And water brushes, yeah, if you have muscle problems, I'm sure there's ones out there that are easier to squeeze and others that are easier to squeeze. These ones I don't do a lot of squeezing on them, honestly. I find that they tend to leak just enough most of the time that I don't have to squeeze often. It's just occasionally I just have to give it a little nudge, and that will just add a little extra water. But if you're finding that water brushes are too much for you, then regular brushes work just as well on media like this. It's just a matter of what you prefer. Christina, hey, how's it going? So nice to see you. So happy to have you with us. We're just working on our Alien Worlds grandiose large cloud creature page. I've just been activating some of the Inktense so that I can get an idea for what my brain was at when we started this page. So I'm just kind of doing the thing that I do. 95% of my coloring is staring at the page, by the way, so hope you're okay with that. I can see the sun creeping in over here too. We got this big sun ray that's coming in. Hopefully it doesn't reach all the all the way over to the image, but perfection. Have a good sleep. I hope you have a great night. Sweet dreams. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. So water-based markers are best to prevent bleed through. Yes. So you do always have to be careful because paper is going to absorb liquids, right? So if you go over a spot enough times with a water-based medium, it still may leak through. As with this page, I'm checking to make sure that I'm not using too much water and it's not bleeding through. Every page, every piece of paper has a certain tolerance for liquid. And certain liquids will reduce the tolerance, such as alcohol, that will bleed through faster than water. But eventually, if you soak the page enough, the water will bleed through and it will take the pigment with it. Looks great so far. Thank you, Christina. I really appreciate it. I'm hoping for this one to be quite grandiose and to feel, like some work was put into it. So I appreciate your input. Smooth out some of these blends here. Tamara, hi, welcome in. Nice to see you. Just smoothing out some blends on my Inktense on this giant creature before I add more. We're gonna have to figure out what to do about this creature's belly. It's gonna be pink to blend in with the clouds, but it's probably gonna be much brighter pink than the clouds. The clouds were done with pan pastel. Nice intense work. Thank you. Yeah, it's not easy. And I think when I was applying it, I applied it a bit heavy, so I'm having to remove a lot of it with the water, but it's coming along. All right, I think I'm gonna let that settle. I'm gonna write down what I think it was. I think it was, what did I say? Deep violet is I think what we used. So I'm gonna write that down because I lost my sheet from the last time. So now we're gonna do the belly. Thank you, Tamara, I appreciate it. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, so tea first. Oh, we've been on here for an hour. Okay. I'm going to take the tiniest little break, going to scoot to the bathroom, and I'm going to refill my water brushes so that if we need to activate. Oh, thank you so much. It's stunning. That's why you're my favorite colorist. That's so sweet of you. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, it's turning out quite well. I'm going to be dodging this beam of light over here. But that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to put you on be right back. I'll just be a few minutes. I'm just going to refill all the water in my brushes and all that. And Tamara, yes. So last stream that I did with this picture, I just laid down some shadowing in a gray Inktense, and then I started the purple Inktense. And then I just activated it today. So that's all I've done today is just activate the purple. I'm going to go back in and do its belly with some pink and hopefully activate that. I haven't decided what I'm going to do the wings and the accents and like the tentacles and stuff, but I want to do the belly pink because I've done the sky pink. All right, I'm going to go be right back. And yeah. Okay, so I'll be right back. I'm just going to refill these water brushes and go to the bathroom. Right. Muted when I was on Be Right Back. Sorry, guys. Okay. So, as I was saying, let me start again. I got my brushes refilled. I grabbed some extra cloths in case I needed them. I grabbed my whole thing of paintbrushes in case I need them. I got extra water, and this is paint water. We don't drink this, which I've almost done several times. I have tea, which is kind of cold, and I will have to refill soon. I've got the whole carafe behind me. We can hear me now, right? We're good? I'm going to wait before I do anything else to somebody tell me that we're still good, that the volume's back. Okay, good. Yeah, sorry, there's a huge delay. There's about like a good solid 10-15 second delay between what I'm doing and what you guys are saying. So it takes me a second to catch up. So unfortunately, if my volume stops working, it takes a while for me to register because you guys don't get to talk to me until many seconds later. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you, Stardust. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. Diamond Painting with NMD. What's your name? Am I allowed to call you by a name or a nickname aside from Diamond Painting? Okay, we'll see you in a minute. Good, Tamara, thank you. All right, we're back in business. So let's pick colors for this dragon's belly. So I am thinking we've got cherry, flamingo, carmine, crimson, and fuchsia are really the options. I'm really leaning towards the fuchsia. Maybe mixing something else in there. I'm going to grab the pencils themselves. I want to see them. Tammy, perfect. Tammy, nice to see you. All right. So, grab the pencils and have a look. I was late to the stream, had a bad night of sleep, and I said I would be here, but I made it. The image looks awesome. Thank you so much. You're not that late. I mean, yes, it's an hour, but like, if you know anything about streams, you know that it takes like an hour to get settled into the stream to begin with. So, all right, let's see. We've got, what did I say the options were? Pink flamingo. Carmine pink. Crimson, maybe not. Fuchsia, of course. Okay, so those are probably those three that will stick most to. Fuchsia, carmine pink, pink flamingo. Yeah, those are probably our best bets. So I'm going to start with fuchsia, and what I'm actually going to do is grab a palette. I've got a well-loved palette here. How did you get tangled? I'm gonna sharpen some fuchsia because it needs sharpening anyway. See, it's getting a little dull. So I'm gonna sharpen some fuchsia into this palette and use it like paint. I think. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. So I need a sharpening implement. Grab a set of tweezers just to get the little bits of wood out. There we go. That's good enough. All right, let's move this over so it fits properly in screen. Get that as close to in screen as possible. Got to do these little bits of belly up here. Ooh, I forgot to activate these tiny little areas. So I'm going to grab my tiny brush here. Down. Oh, my jaw hurts, guys. Sorry, I'm like... I have really bad TMJ, and sometimes my jaw just really stiffens up without me realizing it. Just gotta give it a little squeeze to get those muscles to move again. There we go. Okay. Ooh, this is really filled with gold ink. I'm gonna give it a little wash. Normally I don't mind a little bit of glitter, but that was a lot of glitter in there. Okay, so let's turn this into some watercolor paint. So I already have some gray Inktense set in all the shadow areas, so I'm going to have to kind of work with that, but I'm going to use basically pink as the water here for activation. I do that too, Melissa, when I'm asleep. Yeah, oh God, I have a night guard that I wear, but it's still like murder sometimes in the morning. Oh yeah. Yeah, Inktense pigment, a little goes a long way. Like I didn't even sharpen it a full turn. You know what I mean? Like when I was sharpening it, I only went like a 180 degree, or not even 180 degrees, like 90 degrees or something like that. Um, and I got that much pigment out of it. An Inktense pencil should last you forever. Like they're so, that's one thing that's nice about them. They're worth the money because you don't have to replace them. They're so pigmented. You've wanted them so bad for years. Yeah, I get it. Me too. It took me a long time to work up get to the point where I was like, no, I'm going to get these. I need them. And that was this year for my birthday. This was my birthday present to myself, was to get these guys. Yeah, I just started with Inktense myself. Yeah, Tamara. I hope you're enjoying them because I certainly am. I started with the 36 set and collect open stock. I'm at 56 pencils now. Good for you. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, that's how I built up my polychromos set. Was pencil by bloody pencil. Like took a long time, but I eventually got there. This set, I was like, you know what? The new colors just came out. I'm just gonna buy the whole set. I just bought the 100. I just bit the bullet and was like, yeah, we're doing this. If I could work, I would buy it right now this second. Yeah, I feel you on that. Yes, me too, lol, with the polychromos. Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, I'm glad that you're slowly building. And it sucks that art supplies are so expensive. And they like never go on sale either. It's crazy. You can see the gray activating against the pink there in that one. Better to have 12 Inktense than none? Abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely. I agree. And in Quebec, they're more expensive than anywhere else. Oh, I believe that. I didn't realize you were in Quebec. Quebec, pardon me. I guess we're neighbors then, since I'm an Ontario kid. I think we're supposed to hate each other, but you know what? I don't like to go by those rules. We can all just hate on Alberta instead. Are the additional 28 colors of Inktense available in Canada? Already have the 72 set, but I wish I could find the rest open stock. I'm not sure, actually. I don't know. I know that at my local art stores they aren't available. I can't get Inktense open stock anywhere in person. There's nowhere that sells them really, so I'm not sure. Should we make the wings pink too, do you think? And again, this is just the first layer. I'm going to be doing more pink layers. It's going to be brighter than this by the time we're done, but I just wanted to get down the base and get those shadows blended. I'm not sure I'm in this crazy states. I feel you on that too, Tamara. My goodness. I don't know what's going on down there. Yes, I found a Canadian website that sells them individually. I love you, neighbor, no hate. And yes, next neighbor can be that. Yeah. So what website sells them individually? That's Canadian. Delta Art and Drafting Supplies sell them open stock. Okay. Let me write that down. I've got a notepad here. Actually, let me see if I can. Hopefully this is doing the thing that I want it to do. Okay. Okay. Okay, here I see it. Oh God, they're expensive. But that is okay. Let's just add a couple here. Just want to see. Okay, well, I'll check that out later and see what happens. Wonderful. All right, let's get this screen record off and get back to what we were doing. Okay. Back to it. Yes, pink wings? All right, let's do pink wings. Add some pigment in here. Way too much pigment. It's okay because it's the underside of the wing, so it'll be more shadowed. Yeah, you see that gray that I laid down earlier? You can see it blending in. And I'm kind of letting it do its thing. So we have some shadows laid down to begin with before we put our pink layer on. I wasn't sure how the pink and gray would intermingle, but I'm finding I think I need to let the gray settle before I put the pink on top, so. Yeah, alrighty. Ooh, tea. I always forget that I have tea. Alright. Let's get these shadows in. And then we can go back to using our pink. So I've finished recording my completed pages for the month. I just need to get a few more things recorded to add in. I'm waiting on, I think, 2 buddies to finish their pages before I can post. But I have lots of editing to do, so. What book is it that I'm working in right now? This is Alien Worlds by Kerby Rosanes. This guy right here. Beautiful. I'm working front to back in the Alien Worlds group. Haven't done these ones because they're compilation pages of the whole book, so I'm going to come back to these ones later. There's the inside of my ship. And a little close-up of the outside of my ship. But yeah, I've been really enjoying going sort of on this journey with the Alien Worlds Data Report group run by Happy Catastrophe. I am known as Lieutenant Winter of the SS Icebreaker. In the group, we all have our ships and ranks named, and we all have our own stories. I got a 2025 goal to do a buddy color. Any space left? Wow, you're an amazing artist. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet of you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I have got buddy colors available. I'm getting real close to full up for February, but I've got lots of buddy colors available in the following months. And I've got lots of different books available that are space themed. If you want to do a space themed one, you can do one in this book, or we can do one in Camellia Angel Cova's 50 space themed miniatures, or any other page that you find. I might have it available. So, you know, let me know what you want to buddy, and just DM me on Instagram. That's kind of how Instagram is how I kind of keep track of things like that. So it's best to reach me on there if you can. If not, you can also email me. That's an option. And all my contact info is available in the description box of this video, this live. Hey Mandy, what's up? Did you fall asleep again? I saw you pop in earlier, and then you disappeared. Oh, I'm so glad you're back. I got a text message. Let me see. Is it important? Let me guess. Oh no, it's just Temu. We're okay. Oops, not that one. This one. You came in while I was on a break? Oh, okay. I was only on a break for like 3 minutes. No, you were watching another live? Oh, yeah, that's fair. I know there's a couple of other colorists that have lives on right now. I know that I can't, you know, avoid the fact that other people have things going on. I chose Tuesdays because they were best for me. They're the day that I have the most time and availability to do a live. So I know it's not, the schedule's not going to agree with everyone. That's just life. Can't make everybody happy, right? I'm just getting these shadows put in, activating all this gray that I put in previously. I don't have any music going because last time I tried to put music in, it kind of blared me out. People couldn't hear me over the music, but if you guys want me to, I can try again this time with a different way of doing it. But some people told me that they like the silence, like when I'm not talking, just hearing the normal noises of life around me, the pen scratching or my chair squeaking, that kind of thing. Oh, Shani Blue was on? Yeah. Yeah. I know that she was on while I was during this time, but you know, like I said, gotta do what you gotta do. All right, we're starting to get a little drier, so I'm gonna put more of our pink in. Do what works for you and we'll follow when possible. Yeah. And yeah, the Inktense pencils are amazing to work with, Mandy. They're just stellar. They're just such a unique product. Nothing else in the world quite works the way that they do. Annie, hi, welcome in. I'm just getting some Inktense down on this giant beast. Just kind of layering up the Inktense. And I have it in on a palette here. I sharpened the pencil and then took the shavings, removed the wood, and mixed it with water so that I'd have just a bit more control for this part and some shading. I probably will end up going back in with pencils later, but for right now, I just want to get some good shading in there. Oh, what a lovely morning. Oh, what a day to be. The sun is shining. It's cold out. Don't get me wrong, she be cold, but at least the sun's shining. Whew. Been in for an hour 45. Not bad, not bad. Trying to get some layers in. Don't want to lose my highlights though. Why am I singing everything? Oh, I do not know. All right. And snowing a little tiny bit. Yeah. I don't think it's snowing here right now, but it looks like it could. Thinking about working on your George Trufexis page again Awesome. The sun is out here, but it's cold. Yeah, well, we know, Mandy, that you and I have very similar weather. Mandy and I live only about 2 hours away from each other. Let's check the other page. Nothing's going through. We're good. Just doing all this basing, getting these wings covered with just that light bit of fuchsia. Lovely, lovely, lovely. It's pretty cold where I am too. It's 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Yep, that's cold. I think I need to make some more tea. Oh dear. My tea is not quite hot enough to melt the whitener. I texted Juliet telling her that you're live. She's still sleeping. Yeah, I'm not surprised. That's okay. Okay. I'm literally going to jit off and just put this in the... It's been almost 2 hours anyway, so I might take a little break here, actually. Yeah, I'm going to go to the Be Right Back screen. I'm going to go warm up my tea. Maybe grab something to nibble on, and we can continue after that. Okie dokie? Okie doke. I am back. Mandy, your hubby is still sleeping too. He has business phone calls to make. Good. I mean, that is what it is, right? Okay, so I have got some nudes here that I am attempting to soften. I've got my tea reheated. I've got some Ritz crackers to tide us over. We can continue. So, what are all the current projects going on out there? I know we've got some diamond painting. I know we've got lots of people transitioning into February. Is anyone participating in any February tags? I know I am. I'm waiting for a few more of them to come out before I decide exactly which ones, but I've got some written down, a couple screenshotted. As I was mentioning earlier, I have like a good solid 12 or 13 buddy colors that I need to work on. You're working on a Harry Potter page? No idea what you're doing next. Yeah, fair. I'm just one of those people that kind of goes with the flow. I'm not scared to have a few whips going. It used to bother me, but it doesn't bother me nearly as much now as it used to. I may not start another coloring page though. I'm gonna make my fiance a gift for Valentine's, so I should probably start working on that. Yeah, that's cool. Nice to have other things on the go as well, right? Different hobbies. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do the tentacles pink. I think I want to do them something different. All the breathing apparati, I want to make them a different color of some kind, but I'm not sure exactly what color. Cindy, you're working on the Erie Around the World group? Yeah, that sounds fun. Stirring my nudes over here. Some instant ramen. Added some chicken bouillon and curry and, you know, stuff like that. I really don't know what to do these tentacles. I'm wondering wondering if I should let this page sit for a while and work on something else while I let this stew. Because it is wet. I've saturated the page quite a bit. So it might not be the worst idea to give it some time to cool down, if you know what I mean. Mandy, I was thinking about getting up and getting something to eat. Well, that's not a bad idea either. It doesn't hurt to keep yourself refreshed. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, taking your meds, going to the bathroom, stretching, hydrating, eating something, you know. Keep yourself in tune. I know I'm trying to. Yeah. I might have to take a break from this page and go on to something else before I get frustrated. And I do that a lot. That's part of what I do when I'm coloring. You're trying to pick a page in Circle of Life. How am I ever supposed to choose? That is really tough. Are you talking about Melpomeni's Circle of Life? Because, yeah, I wouldn't know. You know what? Maybe I'll grab it and I'll have a look through it with you. Sometimes that's fun, just looking through pages. Not one that I have picked for this month, but not the worst idea to have a look at it either. What's wrong with that? While I let my brain stew on the alien page. I'm gonna move my Inktense back. Circle of Life. I forgot that I did this little back page too. I don't think I count it as a completed page, but it's a page, technically. I didn't get around to this winter one this winter. I don't think I'm going to, although it's not that complex. You could do a really nice soft background, like with a soft pastel or something in a blue. How nice, Melissa. Yeah, no problem. When you color Matchstick Mouse in any day, do you use a variety of media? Yes. Yes, I do. Chrissy, I am always using mixed media. Almost always. I have such a hard time sticking to one medium on a page. It's really a struggle for me to do that. So yeah, I use mixed media on pretty much every page. Yeah, I feel like you could do like a soft pastel background around here. Heck, I would probably, if I was doing this page, do all of these pointy things and the dots and the snowflakes in metallic or glitter paint or something like that. And then just do this in pencil, and that would be a pretty easy little page. Just made a coffee and coloring my fairy from Christine Karen. Nice. Great job, Stardust. This one's a nice summary page. It's fiery. Again, I would do the same thing. Maybe have orange or yellow soft pastel around the edges. You know, color that fire nice and bright. Use some acrylic paint pens to soften the lines on them. Yeah, that would be not too bad. These pages are pretty simple, actually, when you actually break them down and look at them as to what they are. They're not nearly as complex a lot of the time as we think by looking at the whole thing. If you stop and break it down into smaller pieces, it's not hard. Yeah, this one, I wouldn't be in the mood to do this one right now, but I can see how it could be broken down. If you break it down into, first of all, you cut it in half this way because you've got your moon and all your stars through here, and you've got your sun and your plants all through here. You break it down further, you take the plants away, you've just got your sun, you've just got your moon, right? You've got, it's not too hard to pull apart. Space page. Definitely want to save this one for Space Timber. Myself, anyway. Yeah, there's so many different ways you could do this page. Again, you could do the whole background in like a soft pastel or an Inktense or a Neocolor 2. Or you could break it down ring by ring by ring and make them different colors. I'm not afraid of complex pages. It's just that they are also gorgeous. Juliet, hey, welcome in. I'm going to eat a cracker because I'm hungry and I'm waiting for my noodles. Okay, well, if you're trying to pick a page, so obviously this one would be nice if it's still kind of wintry. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, this one would obviously be perfect for summery, so that's a good option. Like I said, I would save this one for Space Timber myself. This one's almost spooky. You've got like a bat up here and everything. I might do that at a spookier time of year. That one's really pretty. A lot of crystals. But it really screams summer to me. This one's really pretty. This one's the cover page, so I'm kind of skipping it. This one's really pretty. It's got that life cycle of the frog. We are going into spring soonish, and you could, you know, really do it in some pretty, I'm seeing it in some teal colors, you know, teals, aquas, greenish blues, that kind of thing. If you're in the mood for a double page spread, oh my goodness. Yeah, this one I would probably base the background with some Neocolor 2s or even just some watercolor paint. I don't know how this paper takes water though, so I'm not sure. Yeah. It's a nice one. Again, don't know if you're in the mood for a double pager, but you love double page spreads? Yeah, this one, I love it too. Again, I'm seeing the water in various deep blues, you know, teal, aqua blues again, and we've got these beautiful lily pads. Not that you've ever finished one. Yeah, I feel that. They're hard. I have a hard time starting them because I feel that way, like I might not finish them. But yeah, bright aquas, bright turquoises, and teals. And I don't know if you would want to do the lily pads green. Like I mean, obviously you want to do them green, but do you want to do them like an olive green or do you want to do them bright greens? The fish, I would want to do something that stands out, something that really hits, like, you know, maybe not orange because that's so stereotypical, but maybe reds, something like that. And the flowers, a nice contrasting pink or purple. You could do so many things with this page. Heck, I'm tempted to mark it for myself now. Maybe not for this month, but maybe for next month or something. I might just put a little mark in there. purple one is pretty, but again, it kind of says autumn to me. This one, I personally would have a hard time doing. All those flowers intimidate me a little bit. I don't know what that was marking, but it's not sticking anymore. I did a peacock. The last page I think that I did in a Melpomene was a peacock, so I don't know if I want to do that. Do we have a cat on the board, Susie? This one's so pretty. I have seen so many colorists do this one beautifully. I think Karen from My Colorful Country Life did one. Or was it Shell's Coloring Journey? I'm not sure. One of them did it. This one's really cute. These are both really pretty bird pages. For some reason, this layout, the wreath layout, makes the flowers a little less intimidating to me than that other page where it was like really, really mandala-y. I would want to do this different though. I wouldn't want to do the classic teal bird, hummingbird. I would want to do it like a different color. Maybe rainbow. I don't know. Something like that. Again, these flowers are not my jam. I'll do them eventually one day if I want to finish the book, but it's not something that screams out at me. Got pretty cranes in there though. This one I've looked at before. It's one of the more complex pages with the mixture of the water and the plant life, the mountains in the back, the tree here. But it could be so beautiful if done in bright, bold colors. Like deep jewel tones, you know, with some dark shadows to make it almost like a nighttime scene. I feel like this would be really nice. I love chickens. Chickens! Yeah, this would be really nice too. Almost as a tribute to the chicken world, right? Because I mean, chickens are such a huge part of our everyday life, right? They sustain us. I would love to put some golds, coppers, things like that, or like really make it stand out. This one's really pretty too. I've looked at this one before as well. But you'd have to really watch your reflection work. I mean, you don't have to if you want to make it really simple, but like she's put in some starts of the reflection work here for you, so it would be easy to kind of figure out where the reflections need to be and stuff. That'd be really pretty. You could put so many different colors on the water. You wouldn't have to do it blue. You could do it in like any color you wanted because of all the flowers and everything. And all these flowers, they're not super individual and they're really tiny, so you wouldn't have to do a ton of shading. You could kind of block color all of them in different greens and pinks and purples and whatever colors you think. So that would be really nice. All right, bye, Chrissy. We'll see you next time. Mandy, we're looking in Circle of Life by Melpomene Chetsepenugatu. This book here. Her water pages kind of intimidate me. See, I love water. I love swimming. I love fish. I love everything about water. But I don't color it a lot, to be honest with you. And again, I think it's because it intimidates me because I love it so much. I want it to look beautiful, and I don't know how to color water as well as I would like. This one's nice. We've got the betas, the fighting fish. I love betas. I've always had betas. Cute little creatures. There's not as much plant life in this one, like not like and no water. Realistically, it's all just plants and fish. So that's fun. This whirlpool one is like one where I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to put that water in. Yeah, it's crazy. This octopus one is kind of nice. I feel like with this one, because it takes up so much of the foreground, the background would be easy. You would just do like a gradient from light to dark or dark to light, depending on, you know, which way you wanted, what you wanted to stand out. But it wouldn't be too hard to just do the background kind of all one gradiated color, and then you just color in all the little details, and then your main focus is just the octopus here. That would be kind of fun. Oh, nudes. Trying not to splash on my book. This one doesn't catch my attention as much. I don't know what it is about it, but like, it wouldn't be hard to color. It's pretty simple, but something about it just doesn't, it's not screaming at me, you know? I don't know. This one's beautiful. But again, I don't know what I would do with the background. Probably just a gradient. Again, but they're so detailed that doing a gradiated background is kind of tough on these pages. I guess you could do like a watercolor or something, and then like just over the whole, you know, all these outer details, and then use like an acrylic marker to detail them all. Let me. Oh, Snaily Whaley. I do love Snaily Whaley. That is so cute. Me. I should mark that one for this spring. I should really get around to it. I think I've looked at it many times, but I always forget that it's an option. So we'll put a little tag in there. Yeah, you told me. I know. But I've been going slow, man. But I'm going to skip over all these water pictures. I almost did this one for Halloween. I love the rhinoceros picture. And the chameleon. Alligators too. Love those. I've gone back and forth on this one forever. I feel like the sand I would have to do in like Inktense or Neocolor 2 or something like that. I've seen so many people do this one. This one's been done like 100 million times, but it's so cute. I'm personally, again, thrown off by all those flowers. Hedgehog is cute too. I like this one too. I've looked at it before. Really pretty. I don't know what I would do with this panda one. You know what I mean? Like there's not a lot to color. Like the panda's like white and black, so you just add a little bit of like added shading, unless you wanted to do it like a really weird rainbow selection or something, you could do that. But I don't know what to do with that. Your dog looks like a fox. That's cute. Aw, snakes. I love snakes. Oh, that's probably what was marked, was the snake page. Because I went and I did a whole video on all the snake pages I could find in my books. This one's nice. Again, a lot of flowers, but for some reason these flowers are like a little bigger. They don't bother me so much. The bees. I love the bees. I still have to do this page because obviously I've done this one, so it'd be nice to get this one done as well in similar tones. I think I did this one in Albert Durer and Jelly Roll Stardust. No, not Jelly Roll Stardust. Sparkle Pop. Stardust. I just realized that I have Enchanted Earth and there is a super cute snail page. Brain fart for a moment. LOL. That's funny. You like doing flowers, Tamara? That's awesome. Oh, hey, Ran. The bees. I have looked at this one so many times because I like the way it's gradiated between all the different elements. You've got your water, your fire, your earth, your air. I keep thinking that I want to do this one eventually, but I don't know when. Seen this one done to death too. Very, very pretty, but done to death. Okay, Ren, we'll see you later. Thanks for stopping in. I've seen this one done a few times too. Just beautiful. Oh my goodness. Wouldn't this be a dream to do? I can't even imagine finishing this page. Like, I know one day I'm going to try, but like, oh my goodness. It is something else. Did this page too. Didn't turn out quite as well as I wanted, but not bad. I know I did that water with... Do I know what I did it with? I thought I did it with polychromos, but I might not have. This one's nice too. I've thought about doing this one so many times too. It's so simple. Just like, I feel like it would be so quick to do. I love the concept of the water coming down onto the flowers. Juliet, I hear you have a bee story. Yeah, no, yeah, it's not really a story. It's just that I love bees, right? They've always been a part of my life. So the name Melissa is concurrent with the name honeybee. That's what my name means. It's kind of a Greek thing, kind of a Greek, old Greek mixture that creates the word honeybee. So obviously my dad always associated me with bees. He planted a rose of Sharon's bush outside my bedroom window when I was small. And so I've always had bees outside my bedroom window because bees love the rose of Sharon. And my dad got a bee tattoo for me with my name on it and stuff because, you know, dads are cheesy like that. So I ended up getting my first tattoo and I put a tiny little bee in my tattoo as well, kind of as a shot back at him. But yeah, I just think bees are the cutest. Like bumblebees, oh my god, I love petting them. I love petting bumblebees. It's so fun. You just go up and you just while they're pollinating, you just boop boop boop. So cute. But yeah, so that's, I mean, it's not really a story. It's why I love bees, you know? My love of bees did not just come out of nowhere. I saw when Karen did this page. I'm not sure I would do it the same way she did. One of these days I want to do it, and I want to do it differently. I see it in a totally different color palette myself. So you're into animal rights protection? You're darn right you are. I mean, animals are fantastic. They're way better than people. I mean, people suck. Animals are the best. I have so, I've always had pets. My my parents always had dogs. I've had cats. I've had, fish. I've had hamsters. I've had everything. Sure that the bees appreciate your boop boops. Yeah, they. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure that they don't hate me at all, but they let me pet them. So, oh, it's awesome to have that connection. My nickname is Buzz, so I have a bee thing too. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, that's very nice. Oh, I need more nudes. I'm so hungry, guys. Again, trying not to splash onto my page. Oh, yes. Animals, oh, animals are so much better than people. Animals 10 out of 10 every time. People, ugh. A person can be okay once in a while, but people in general, the worst. The worst. I love coloring animals too. It's my favorite thing to color. Even if I'm not that great at doing fur and stuff, I don't care. It makes me happy. Did this one. This was my first Melpomene page, I think. I think this was my first. Turtle. Tortoise, actually. This one intimidates me too. I think it's all the clockwork. But yeah, I would say if one was going to do it, I would say either do this big old fish page or do Snaily Whaley. Snaily Whaley with his little boop 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 boops. Yeah, those are the two I would pick personally. But that's just me. Just me and my humble, useless opinion. More nudes. Don't mind my face. Ugh. My heart just keeps breaking for nature and wildlife. Yeah, I know, it's the worst, right? I was heartbroken. I tell you, I was heartbroken. Back in my childhood, back when I was growing up, I grew up in a small town. Um, the small school, and like the biggest thing in the town were the factories, because it's a small town near the 401. It was easy to have a lot of factories. So, anyways, around the corner from my house, there was this small little woods that was kind of between the factory, the school, and everything else. It was just this little small plot of woods. And I used to go there all the time. I used to run through the trails there and take the dogs for a run there, and it was just this wild little patch of woods that nobody, like, some kids came down there and played on their BMX bikes and stuff, but realistically nobody went down there. And it was just really nice and peaceful and wonderful, and it used to be full of those woolly bear caterpillars. During caterpillar season, I would just go, and there was millions of them, and I loved it, and it was great. Oh, and then, I moved away to college and blah, blah, blah. And then one day I came back to my parents' house and the woods was gone. They demoed it. And you know what they put there? And I kid you not. I can't even make this up. They put a parking lot there. It was literally that song. That song played in my head for weeks. You know what I mean? Like, it was devastating to me. Yeah, I'm just gonna eat some nudes here, and then decide if we're gonna do some more coloring or what. Ugh. Alaska's wildlife. Ugh. Yeah, nature does not deserve us. You know, like, we don't deserve nature. Nature is so wonderful, so beautiful. The best form of therapy there is, really. Well, you know, aside from maybe antidepressant drugs, but you know, going out into the woods, going for a hike in the summer, oh, so wonderful. All right, got some nudes in the belly. Some tea. Tracker. Okay. Let me have a look at this alien page again. You cry every time a tree gets cut down? Well, I wouldn't go that far for myself because it depends. You know, trees get cut down. That's part of the circle of life. You know, just like beavers cut trees down. It's part of life. As long as it's not excessive, as long as it's not done willy nilly. Um, Trees sometimes need to be cut down for necessity because they're not well, they're older, they're causing dangerous situations. Fine, it doesn't make me cry. Um, if they take down a tree for no reason, I get pretty, it saddens me quite a bit. If they take down a big old tree just because, they want to put a parking lot there, that bothers me. But I do consider it to be part of the circle of life that trees get cut down. You know, it's no different than stepping on grass, right? Like, you can't avoid it. It's part of life. I can't get upset about it every time, but I definitely don't like to see it happen to excess, which unfortunately it does a lot of the time. So, you know what? I think maybe we're going to take some time to sleep on this. I think we've had a really good stream today, and I might just end it on a good note. We've had a chance to talk about a lot of wonderful things. We got a lot of work done on this big beast. And I think maybe we'll leave it there until next Tuesday, and we'll see what kind of spoons I have. I don't want to use up every spoon in my drawer right now. I want to kind of leave myself with some energy for the afternoon. So I think we'll leave it there, and we can move on. Any other last minute questions? Oh, I'm sorry, the coloring mermaid. Yeah, I was just kind of getting to the end of my spoons here, so I'm thinking about ending up here. Um, but if you have any questions or you want to talk or chat, feel free to DM me. Yeah, no problem, Tamara. I'm glad I could help a little bit. I just I'm just feeling like I need a break now, and I don't want to drag you down if I start feeling a bit unenergetic. Thank you all to everybody who joined me. Thank you to everybody who was chatting. I really appreciate you being here. And I can't wait to see you next Tuesday. We'll either work on this or something else. If you have any ideas as to what you want to do on stream, shoot me a message and we can think about it. So we'll see you in the long run. Bye bye.